Brunch, the daily morning show where we talk about the latest topics in entertainment. I'm Brittany Jones-Cooper.
I'm Shannon Coffey.
I'm Allie Colbert.
And I'm Lucas Tim. Hi, everyone.
Today, we're going to talk about a new presidential Broadway show inspired by the Clintons, ABC's Shark Tank's iconic 200th episode, and the new trend of parents using do not touch signs on their baby carriers. Plus, recording artist turned author, baby Ariel, joins the table, guys. Very exciting.
But first, did you guys see over the weekend Taylor Swift came out of the closet?
As a Democrat! Woo! Big news for T Swift. Yeah, you know, the notoriously apolitical Taylor Swift made a very, very lengthy Instagram post basically endorsing Democrat Phil Bredesen, who's running for Senate, former governor, and her congressman. So this is a big deal for Taylor Swift fans because she doesn't usually speak on anything political.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hillary Clinton's really happy for her. She finally chose this moment to speak.
Yeah, I wonder if she did it because Kanye's been in the news for quite the opposite and she just wanted to twist the knife.
Maybe.
That would be some Taylor Swift shade, though.
Yeah.
That's how she runs. You know, she got a lot of flack for not endorsing a candidate during the last election, and a lot of people thought she didn't do that because she didn't want to sort of like split her fan base or mess with her own
Lose
money.
her money.
Yeah, which you get as a, I guess, a business move, even though now I feel like she's realized she can't stay silent, which is what she said. So again, we're talking about people on their political evolution, and I think we're gonna see more and more people kind of being like, okay, I can't sit back anymore.
Yeah, it's just funny that like we need Taylor Swift to like get political. Like Taylor Swift's fan base, like do you really need her opinion to like mobilize you to get to the polls?
Well,
it depends on who some of her fans are.
You know, like that's scary.
I think, I know it's scary. I think a lot of young women especially really like her. So the fact that she's like speaking out, I think, you know, making it cool to be political, but also I just appreciate that her post seemed very genuine. Like she really was like, I really try to vote for people who, you know, support human rights, civil rights, LGBT rights. Like
that's what she said?
She really was like, and why she's voting against Marsha Blackburn because her record of like, she's voted against equal pay, voted against Violence Against Women Act, voted against, like, doesn't believe in same-sex marriage. Like, Taylor Swift really went into, like, these are the reasons why I'm political now, and this is, you know, it's important.
She encouraged, you know, young people to think about these candidates, look them up, and not just, like, make a decision by party, which I think is super responsible. And, you know, I think the youth does need to be inspired because as we've seen, the numbers show people are not voting. So if Taylor Swift can just inspire even 10 people, it's worth it. We need those 10 votes.
And the voting registration deadline ends tomorrow in Tennessee, which is why she chose to do it now, I think, because she wants that last boost. So good for you, Taylor. Yeah. Speaking of politics, Build Brunch has the exclusive first look at Harper Bazaar's annual Women Who Dare feature. Making the list this year are Orange is the New Black star Laverne Cox and fellow actress Rosario Dawson. Hollywood icon Jane Fonda was also recognized this year alongside Black Lives Matter co-founder Patrisse Khan-Cullors. Here is a first look at the behind-the-scenes footage.
We have to think beyond man and woman and making these generalizations about what men do and these generalizations about what women do because so many people exist in the spaces in between and beyond. And that is the space, I think, of true liberation.
We have to protest, we have to hit the streets, we have to resist, and we have to say the things that sometimes people are afraid to say. And I think Black Lives Matter was that phrase that people were afraid to say, and now it's everywhere.
Nobody could ever silence us ever again. This is our time. People always tell us that we're the future and that we're gonna make a huge change. Use that as motivation, and whenever somebody tries to shut you down, shut them back down with your words and your empowerment. Y la lucha sigue, the fight will continue.
I want to point out that we also see Gabrielle Giffords and Edna Chavez in that video. And Gabrielle Giffords, we know, was a victim of gun violence herself. So we've seen her long journey to healing, and then also her activism has just increased, I think, since her shooting as well. So I think it's always inspiring to see her. Like every time I see her, I'm just like, listen to her. Yeah. She has like lived it. What she's speaking is true, and I think it's really important to continue to honor her.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love their pairing too, specifically because of their age difference. Yeah. I think it's so important that Edna was included in this because she has this great quote where she says, like, you know, they say constantly, the youth is our future, but then whenever teenagers speak up, we're always like, this isn't your problem, shush, 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 be quiet. But it's like, we should be empowering them to be thinking about these things as soon as they can, because developing an opinion, there's no age requirement on that. And the more that we empower them, the better they are for when they turn 18 to make the right decisions.
Right.
After that.
Yeah, especially with that pairing, which is so interesting as well, because Edna's way into being a gun control advocate, whatever, is through immigration and through her own community, while former Congresswoman Gabrielle Giffords is because she's a victim of it. And Gabrielle Giffords is a gun owner. Yeah. So they both have very interesting perspectives, and the way they talk, and seeing Gabby Giffords kind of say, like, I'm so inspired by how the youth use social media and they connect to people and hold truth to power. I thought was really interesting. And that's also what I liked hearing Patrice and Jane Fonda talk, because Patrice is like, I gained out of the UNC tenacity and you never give up. And Jane Fonda's like, from you, I'm learning, like, I never knew. Jane Fonda called her up one day, was like, you need to tell me about basically educating her on white privilege and what the Black Lives Matter movement is doing. And I think just really cool that these women kind of from different generations coming together to learn from each other.
Yeah. I love that Jane Fonda, we know her as an activist, but I love that she was so transparent and being like, I didn't understand this. Right. And I think that's so powerful for so many people to be like,
it's going to be Amy Schumer in 10 years. Yeah. I didn't know what I was doing.
I didn't know. Seriously. But it's nice when you don't have the answers to ask questions.
Right.
Like, so important.
I think that is one of the most important things that people are still learning, is that we are all, in a sense, problematic and ignorant, and that the sooner we learn that, then the better off we are improving. Yeah. Like, if we can have these conversations and admit, like, oh, I wasn't aware of this privilege I had, the quicker we could just go to, like, learning it and fixing it and working against it. And I think the closer we are to being not afraid of being wrong, the better off we are to getting closer to being right.
I agree.
Yeah.
And Laverne Cox, I love her.
Yeah, she's awesome.
Has continued to be an inspiration for so many people.
Yeah, and it's really interesting hearing her talk about, like, finding that space in the video shows of where, like, we're all just kind of accepted. And I really like hearing her speak and stuff. Yeah. And also her talk about, like, women's rights and saying, you know, she's like, I can't get pregnant, but still advocating on behalf of women's, you know, reproductive rights. And I just thought it's really interesting. It's a great piece, guys.
Which again, encouraging people to be a supporter and advocate for something that doesn't necessarily affect their lives, especially after the Kavanaugh confirmation.
Totally.
Yeah, absolutely.
The abortion issue doesn't affect a lot of people, but it does a lot affect. So I think it's important to show that you can still be an ally even if it's not your battle that you're fighting. Right. It's super important.
Yeah.
In other news, Hillary Clinton is coming to Broadway. Well, sort of. The former First Lady will be portrayed by Roseanne star Laurie Metcalf in a new Broadway play titled Hillary and Clinton, while the Crown actor John Lithgow will play former President Bill Clinton. The show will center around Hillary's 2008 presidential campaign. This adds to her increasing popularity in pop culture. Hillary recently guest starred in CBS's Madame Secretary and Murphy Brown. Let's take a look.
Hello, I'm here to interview for the secretarial position.
Hillary?
Yes, Hillary Clinton.
My God, you look just like...
I know, Hillary Clinton. I get that a lot, but my name is spelled with one L.
Well, okay, Hillary, with one L, please sit down. I guess you've heard this is a pretty demanding job.
I have. Your reputation precedes you, but I want you to know I'm not afraid of hard work. I'm qualified and ready on day one.
And I also assume you've had previous secretarial experience?
Absolutely. For 4 years, I was the secretary. I was the secretary of a very large organization.
And you have all the requisite skills, computer, email?
Emails. Yeah. I do have some experience with emails.
How are you at teamwork? You know, putting on a news program is a huge operation.
Oh, I get that completely. Everyone works together. It takes a village.
Well, you are very impressive, maybe a little overqualified. How about I take some time to think it over and give you a call?
Well, it was a pleasure meeting you. I'll be expecting your call. And here, let me give you my card. Thank you.
Thank you. Hillary at youcoulda-had-me.com.
Seriously. Secretary of State, and now she's a sitcom actress. I mean, she's killing it. She's killing it.
Timing was pretty good. You see a lot of politicians act and it's bad. That was actually pretty good.
We have trouble saying the word politician on here almost every week. One of us says the word weirdly.
It's such a dirty word now.
We're like,
I would say politics.
Yeah,
I grew up bilingual and I'm like silly sometimes, and I'll be like, politics. And it took me years before people were like, it's politics.
Oh,
I'm like, oh.
I'm like, I have the same problem because I'm just dumb.
Yeah,
but
I just can't read.
I speak English and bitch.
Going back to the Broadway play, which is to be directed by Joe Mantello, I think it's coming out in April. It's about her 2008 campaign, which she ran against then Senator Barack Obama for the Democratic nomination. And it's interesting they're exploring that piece of her history because that was a very contentious campaign and a primary that was very, very close.
Really
if your kids out there, if you thought her and Bernie were close when she beat him by 4 million votes. Her and Barack Obama, they were neck and neck until the very end, and when Obama secured the nomination. So it's interesting looking at gender and politics and like their marriage through that prism, which I'm really interested to see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was I gonna say? I had something to say.
I don't know, but that election cycle was really interesting. I'm giving you time to figure it out.
Thank you.
Because it was so contentious,
right.
And like you said, it was close, but it was also like really dirty.
Dirty.
And she was attacking him a lot, and it was so it would be interesting to see now that we're on the other side of this like really dirty politics to see that it was kind of started, really happened then too.
But also, it is definitely too soon to have like a play examining like the most recent election. Like that would feel.
Yeah, too.
Well, it was 8 years. Well, it's actually what's pretty interesting.
10 years ago.
10 years ago now.
President Trump.
Yes. Oh yeah, you can't look.
And Hillary.
Totally.
Like that presidential race would feel too soon if I saw that in like film or play.
And also, did you know that when she ran, her advisors told her not to run as a woman, which is surprising. People don't know that. Like they
should have run as a man.
Run as a man, basically. Like you look at that campaign, she really doesn't mention a lot. Like unlike in 2016, I'm with her. Like this is for the break. Not to the way end does she stay like. When we didn't break the glass ceiling, we made 18 million cracks in it or whatever.
She didn't have her period for like years.
Yeah, she just stopped all women stuff. But it's just interesting kind of look at it through that prism. And now we see her now post 2016 election, which was the first woman to nominate a major party, won the popular vote, lost the election. But seeing her now as this like sitcom star doing,
Isn't it funny that so many politicians also want to be celebrities?
Yes.
And even ones that are super qualified and she's done everything she needed to do professionally, but she's still like, yeah, I can act.
Yeah.
Like it's still.
I feel like it's more so that like people are just like pounding on her door to like to throw them 2 minutes in a show, less she has like film aspirations.
Right.
There's still an ego it takes though to be like,
like
I want to do this.
But imagine if someone told you 5 years ago, guess what? Donald Trump's gonna be president, Hillary Clinton's gonna be on TV shows.
Exactly.
Would you believe them? No. But she's really good at that. It looks like she's having fun. Like I don't think she's trolling the studios in LA, knocking on doors, being like, hey, put me in your show. Mm-hmm. But I think, Madam Secretary makes sense. She plays herself as Secretary of State. And this one was like a jokey, haha. She's without a job and needs a secretary job.
Yeah.
So it's kind of funny.
I imagine her like in her dressing room, like going over the lines, being like, "Oh, I get this joke." My
emails.
Yeah.
Apparently, she the Murphy Brown one. The creator sent her the script. They didn't really change much. She had no problem with any joke. She was very game to make fun of her emails, make fun of all sorts of stuff.
At this point, what does she have to lose?
Right, exactly.
She lost everything.
Literally. Literally.
God.
Except I still hashtag an Emmy for Hillary. I still want her to win that Emmy despite Trump. But let me tell you, he will get so pissed.
She could for a guest starring role.
She could.
Murphy Brown.
Yeah.
I love Murphy Brown so much.
Yeah.
I forgot how big of a crush I have on her.
Aww.
And I hadn't seen her in so long that I was like, oh my God, I still really love you.
I used to love that show. I've been seeing a lot of people too that I loved growing up going back and doing guest starring roles. Katie Couric just taped something for the show and they showed like her behind the scenes. So they're bringing back all these women, I think from the 90s who were like, who made guest appearances on the show then back.
Yeah, and I actually never seen Murphy Brown, which is embarrassing. I probably should, but apparently like there's a running gag of people interviewing to be her assistant secretary or whatever. So like that was like, and that was Candace Bergen's idea. Like, why don't we just try to ask Hillary to do it? And they're like, okay.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Well, attention sharks, the 10th season of the reality show Shark Tank premiered last night, marking the 200th episode of the iconic TV series. Featuring a panel of judges that we've all grown to know, the TV program will continue to feature entrepreneurs pitching business ideas in hopes that one of the fellow sharks will invest.
I love this show.
Do you guys watch Shark Tank?
Yeah.
It's always on. It's just always on the TV. So.
I watch it every night. I'm like obsessed with it.
Really?
Yeah, I love it. I think it's so fun watching rich people just like throw around their money. Like I love the idea of being like, oh, I could give you 100,000. Oh, I'll give you 200,000. Like it's just great.
What I love about this new season coming up is that Charles Barkley, the former basketball player, is apparently going to come on as a judge. He has like a very well-known gambling problem. Like he's like over the years he's lost $1 million in games 30 times. So he's lost like $30 million in gambling. So I love that now he's going to be up there like gambling on people. I don't know if that's good for your addiction, but it'll be fun to watch.
Yeah, that's
like
definitely
a healthier
not
form of gambling.
Yeah,
right?
I guess.
Like, he has a better chance of succeeding, I think,
Maybe.
in this type of gambling.
And he's also pledged to like invest $1 million in female entrepreneurs. So hey, if this gambling's gonna help women become business people, I mean that's great. Yeah. I don't watch Shark Tank, but I feel like I really like it if I do.
It's so good.
Not just because Bethany Frankel is a guest judge or whatever, but yeah, like some of the ideas people have, like there's one that's about how to fool telemarketers or whatever, which sounds interesting. Another one's like rehabilitating the image of bats. I don't know what these businesses will, but that's just what the teaser said.
Yeah.
Like, so I think I like watching really interesting ideas because you always have those friends, or I do it too, like, oh God, I have this great idea. If only I could, I had that idea or whatever. But these people actually have these great ideas and are going to. Do
you guys have any great inventions that you think you could take on Shark Tank?
Well, not to share on the show. Top secret.
They're gonna steal it. Look at them. They have notepads.
Yeah, everyone here.
They're like, give me that idea.
Have you seen any good ones you like on that?
My favorite is the Squatty Potty. I've never seen. Yes,
that's a great one.
That's the first time I saw it was on.
That's my favorite
Shark Tank. Yeah,
Wait, I have one.
With Squatty Potties.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
I have one
They're
too.
fantastic.
Yeah,
but like they did this show and then they went nuts. And then also that
Howard Stern talks about that a lot, Squatty Potty.
It saves
because guys were pooping the wrong way.
Yeah.
Yeah, Squatty Potty I think is one of the greatest inventions ever.
Yeah.
Life is so hard, and there's so much opposition in our lives that like I don't need to be fighting my bowels every day, So like Squatty Potty, lift those legs, push it out. It's so easy. Sometimes it just goes woo, It's just like magic.
Yeah.
Squatty Potty, sponsor me.
I also like the Copa del Vino. I remember seeing that one. It's like a little cup of wine that you pull the top off. And that has blown up since I saw it on Shark Tank.
Yeah, that was huge on Shark Tank. I think the biggest product they've had to date was the Scrub Daddy.
Oh, yeah.
That little the sponge that like gets like the inside of like a fork or like the way you, I don't.
Just keep doing that with your hands.
Scrub Daddy.
Yeah.
It's on with a smiley face, right?
Yeah, it's a smiley face and it, I don't know. Yeah, there's that. Also, Bombas socks. Bombas.
Oh, I didn't know that was
They were on Shark Tank, and they're the best socks ever. They're like the warmest, most amazing socks. I love them.
Yeah.
This is great.
I just love that whole as seen on TV thing that people already love. They sort of have like cornered it even more. Because if you go into a Bed Bath & Beyond, a lot of these Shark Tank things are now like in the as seen on TV area. And you buy that stuff even when you don't need it. Like, that's why it's so fun.
Yeah, it's like, it's such, yeah. I remember growing up and seeing like as seen on TV, like little kiosks in the mall. And they would sell like the perfect pancake maker and it just like makes your pancakes perfectly circular. Like you don't need that, but you want it.
Right, or like the perfect nail clipper. You're like, I didn't know I was doing it wrong.
Yes.
That's the thing, this is Squatty Potty, realizing you were doing stuff wrong your whole life and being like mad at society for it. Like, I didn't know I was going to the bathroom wrong or clipping my nails wrong. I was like, wow, God.
No, you could like perfect all these little things.
Yeah. Like those are the best inventions. So I need to figure out what we're doing wrong and try to fix it.
They're like, this knife can cut through a human body, and I'm like, I need it.
Just in case.
Hey, if the zombie apocalypse happens, you will.
Oh my God, right? American Horror Story.
Yeah. Ooh.
Should we talk about it?
Everyone should be watching Apocalypse. Anyway, we are all familiar with do not touch signs in museums and exhibits, but now Tags for Tots has taken them to the next level. The company is selling warning signs to new parents, discouraging strangers from putting their grubby hands on their babies. The decorative signs will help serve as a new tool for parents to keep visitors away from their newborns and to stop germs from spreading. Guys,
Preach to this.
I'm all for this.
Yeah.
I really am all for this. I always have gotten weirded out when strangers at all touch other people's babies. I'm always weirded out by adults kissing babies.
Yes.
I've never, unless you're their parent or whatever, I've never quite understood why adults feel the need to kiss babies because not even going to that gross. I'm just saying like we're adults. We put our mouths in a variety of places. Not going to go into details, but
thank you.
But they kiss like little innocent. Hey, come on, we're adults here. But like like little babies, I just feel like I'm secretly kind of a germaphobe, so that just seems so
secretly
gross.
You're pretty open about it.
I'm openly about it.
I think this is. If I saw a sign on a baby's thing that said "Don't touch the baby," I would be like, "Fucking calm down."
Right.
But at the same time, don't touch the fucking baby.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I feel like I would need to wear a sign that says "Don't fucking touch me."
Right.
Because people always see tiny little bitches like me and they want to fucking touch us. Don't fucking touch me.
Pick you up.
Put me down. Don't pick me up. I don't want to be picked up, moved. Leave me alone. Babies, on the other hand, I'm like surprised that strangers kiss babies and like touch them, but I know because I have a dog that when I walk my dog, strangers will come with my dog and try and like pick my dog up and like lick my dog. They try and like kiss my dog and like make out with my dog. I'm like, don't fucking touch my dog. You know what I mean? Like that tongue is on my face.
That's my doggy tongue.
That's my doggy tongue.
I wonder if these actually work though, because what we know from science and facts is that humans do not read. So even when there's big signs that are like, do not touch, do not block the doorways, people are like, So I feel like this is just gonna be like someone being like, look at the sign, it says do not touch, and they're like, licking the baby, and they're like, no.
Yeah. I just think you're 100% right.
Yeah.
Like, I think this is a really important thing. I have nieces and nephews that I've taken out in public, like on my own, and that's when I realized that people will touch your baby. Like,
So what do? They just like, they see them in the carriage?
They'll touch them, and it's like not really bothersome to me if
they're
they're
like,
if they're like, oh, their little arm, but it's like when they touch their hands or their face. I'm like, don't touch their hands or their face.
Their face?
Like, I'll walk up to a
hand?
little baby and I'll like grab their little toe and be like, hi, little buddy.
The feet. I love the feet.
like-
Their feet are like little empanadas.
Especially if they're in like a little like one. If they're in a one.
Baby feet, don't you want to be like,
But if they're in a onesie too, it's like
You know, I don't think you should ever touch a baby's skin directly if it's not your baby, but I'll do like a little toe grab like through a onesie.
Yeah.
Oh, he's cute, and then like no.
I just ask for permission.
Yeah.
I think that's something we're learning about a lot about consent is like asking like, may I hold your baby or may I like that's I've always been like.
Literally yes to what you're saying. Just ask.
Just
ask if you can touch the baby, but at the same time. Don't ask if it's going to be like an uncomfortable and they don't want to feel awkward. Just maybe just know.
Also,
don't touch people's babies unless it's your own fucking baby.
Exactly. Unless you don't know, like if you don't know the baby at all, that's really weird.
Yeah. Don't fucking touch other people. Stop touching other people. Babies, women, adults, don't touch anyone.
A lot of pent up.
Don't touch people anymore. Just no more touching. We can't handle it.
Yeah, we've fucked it up in the past how many years? We can't handle it.
Can handle touching people. So
everybody
just not
needs
touch.
to just wear gloves from now on.
Just don't touch.
I don't want to keep on thinking of little babies with "don't touch" tattooed over their eyes, just because that's such a big trend now. Face tattoos.
Like Post Malone.
Yeah, just like "don't touch."
Like babies with teardrop tattoos.
Also, putting "always tired" under a baby would work as well.
Yeah, anything. I think baby face tattoos is the next big thing.
Oh my God, that's like in that episode of Friends, Rachel's sister starts doing baby makeup.
Oh yeah.
And she's like, no one wants it, and Rachel's like, really? That's so strange.
Yeah, there was that teen mom, Farrah. Remember, she used to bleach her baby's hair and like wax her eyebrows, and people were like, "That's cruelty."
That's not good.
It is.
Kim Zolciak photoshopping her daughter, like 4-year-old daughter's Instagram, making her butt more defined. You seen that?
Oh my God.
Former Atlanta Housewives star. Yes, that was on the internet. She deleted the picture though, but like her daughter posted one, and she posted one, and the one hers, like she like contoured the baby's butt or something.
That is so upsetting.
Why would she do that?
America! Woo!
Oh
yeah,
my God.
I don't know.
Don't be tired.
Imagine having a baby and be like, my baby's butt isn't big enough. Like having to Photoshop it, that's so weird.
There's babies already have diapers that make
I
a
don't
little
know.
butt.
That's a woman who's like not good enough to be on Atlanta Housewives anymore. So just like that.
She's not on that?
That's the standard.
Oh, she got fired. Well, she was on and stopped.
And they gave her own show though, so I'm not worried.
I thought she came back.
She did, and they hated her so much.
Oh.
Anyway, don't touch babies. It gets them sick. It's the flu season. Really don't touch them because they may not be vaccinated. Just don't be a jerk.
And get a flu shot.
Yeah.
Unless you don't believe in it. Ariel Martin, better known as Baby Ariel, is musically megastar, YouTube icon, and recording artist who has been dominating social media for the last couple of years. Now she's sharing the inspiring story behind her empire of more than 35 million fans in Dreaming Out Loud. The debut book goes behind the scenes in the life of Baby Ariel with personal anecdotes, advice, doodles, and never-before-seen photos. Please give a warm Build Brunch welcome to Baby Ariel!
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
So, from musically sensation to author, what made you decide to write a book?
You know, being on social media, I get a ton of questions from my supporters like every single day about growing up and about stories and about my experience at school and social media and self-confidence and self-love. And I can't respond to every single person, but I do want to share my stories and I do want to respond. So I took all of my stories and all of their questions and I created a book based with my advice and everything that I've gone through really as a teenager.
That's awesome. So what is it like sort of writing about your personal life and when you're on social media a lot? So like the differences between depicting, you know, and portraying yourself on social media and then sharing these personal stories in a book?
Yeah, for sure. I think on social media, we tend to not talk as much or we don't share as much. But with a book, I really wanted to go deeper and talk about the things that I usually wouldn't share on social media because I mean, social media is where you go to entertain. I don't want to be crying every day on social media about like all of my problems. I'm sad right now. I know, I'm so sad, guys. Like, which is like probably all the time. But in the book, I'm really able to share absolutely everything. And I think that's great because I want teens to be able to read the book and know they're not alone. And like when I'm sad all the time and I'm feeling unsure of everything, they can read the book and know, oh my gosh, somebody else understands what I'm going through.
Yeah. Totally. Is that a lot of pressure though? Because you're not, you know, 50 years old. Like, and teens are looking to you for advice and you're so young yourself. Like, how do you manage that expectation?
Yeah, I mean, it's really, from the beginning, it's what I wanted to do. So I didn't ever feel this pressure. I felt more of like, oh, I truly like care about the people following me and I care about these kids and I want to share because I want them to be happy. And so it's as much as I can share, as much as I can talk to them, I will. And it's because I want to. And it's because it's not really like about pressure or anything. It's just like this is what I want to do and I want to be there for them, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
What is the biggest question or the most frequent question you get from your fans?
Ooh, honestly, probably how to start on social media and everything. And also just a lot of questions about, you know, like first time, like going into school, like for their first day of school or their first kiss or their first boyfriend or their first picture on social media, the first thing they want to share and that kind of thing. Yeah.
It's really cute.
That is so cute.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you started on Musical.ly and you start out lip syncing and then you transitioned to making your own music. Did you know that you wanted to do that or did you discover that on the app?
So I have been singing and playing piano since I was like, I want to say 5.
Wow.
And so like, and I've been acting since I was super little also. So this kind of all came organically. Like I started Musical.ly for fun, but once I really gained a following and I started making these videos, I was like, oh, this is a great way to transition and into what I truly love doing, like music and telling stories and acting. So it all, I don't know, it felt organic. It didn't feel like a huge transition. It felt like, oh, this is what I am supposed to do. This is what I want to do.
What was the process like making your own songs? Like, do you write as well or do you have a team?
Yeah, so I write also. I'm a very emotional, like I always write from the heart, whatever it is. So I really like, I'll sit by the piano sometimes and play some melodies, or I'll write poems and put some melodies behind them. And I'll go into sessions also with like amazing writers and producers. And we all bounce ideas off of each other. They share what they were feeling. For example, we could write a song about that, or share what my friend was feeling, write a song about that. Yeah, it's really cool. We all always write from the heart. And that's where I come from, always.
I also love the titles of your songs.
Oh, thank you.
They put me in a good mood before I even start listening. I'm like, yeah, Gucci on my body, let's go.
Thank you.
It's so much fun, yeah.
Thank you.
And besides singing, you're also an actress, and I can't believe it. When I was 17, I didn't have the motivation to do my homework. So in fact, you also star in a YouTube series, Baby Doll Records, and you have a Nickelodeon movie coming out soon.
Yes.
So how is it being an actress? You mentioned you've been an actress forever, but like being an actress while also balancing with your social media career and your music career?
One thing that I agree with you 100%, because at first that was really the hardest mental thing to do. Like, how do I differentiate between all of these things? And I really had to learn how to compartmentalize everything. You know, I had to say, okay, when I'm working on a movie, as much as I love music, I have to focus on the movie. And then when I'm working on the show, focus on the show. When I'm writing the book, and when I'm in that headspace, put all of my effort into the book when I'm doing my music. So I had to really learn, like, okay, yes, these all make up me, but they are different parts of me, and I have to put all of my love and care into each and every one.
That's actually great advice. I think that's a problem with a lot of millennials. It's like we always want to do so much, we don't know how to split up all our time.
For
so kind of just like maybe focusing on one project at a time, putting your all into it, and then moving on.
Exactly. Like I used to I'd be writing a song, like, oh wait, I have an idea for this line in this script, okay, let me work on that. And I didn't feel like I was giving my all into everything, and I want to be able to do that. So you have to learn how to do it. It's hard.
What do you just do for fun? It sounds like you're working a lot more than I was at 17, is all I'm saying.
It's funny, like,
this is Mama Ariel.
I'm not a baby.
Sure.
This is honestly, when I'm for fun, oh my God, this is really bad. Like, I love writing. Like, it used to be.
That's good.
Like I do online school now, so when I was in school, I would come home and I would write in my journal, or I would write a song. So this has always been what I love to do on the side of, school, but now I'm able to take what I love to do and make it my real, life. And I hang out with friends, I love movies, I watch a ton of movies, I listen to music, but this is really what I love to do. It's why I do it so much.
And then outside your career, you're also leading anti-bullying efforts, #Ariel movement, which is incredible. People Magazine recognized it for all that you're doing. So you're also kind of a philanthropist too, and you're trying to give back. So is this something that organically just happened because you're a social media star, or something you always really wanted to do, to try to stop cyberbullying?
Yeah, for sure. When I started social media, I got a ton of hate online because I think doing lip syncing videos and Musical.lys and everything, which is great. I loved it so much, but a lot of people didn't understand. And so, they commented all these terrible, like, you're ugly, you're this, you're that. And I had to really learn myself how to ignore those and how to stay true to myself. But instead of ignoring it, I decided to talk about it and to create this Ariel movement. And as I spoke about what I was going through, and I speak about it in the book and everything, kids really started to speak up and say, oh, wait, I just started social media also, and I'm going through what you're going through. And this Ariel movement just happened where we created this community where we can talk and be open and be positive with each other. It just really just happened organically. I love it. It's a positive place online where we all can just talk.
Yeah.
This is random, but Musical.ly, nobody knew it was going to be as big as it became. And so you're kind of lucky because you were on it, you were doing stuff, and it blew up.
Yeah.
Are there any new apps that you see coming out now as an influencer that you think have the potential to be the next Musical.ly or Vine or something like that?
That's a good question. Personally, I'll be honest, I haven't seen any apps that I think, but I do see different forms of content that I think could be huge. There are different. I've seen on YouTube longer videos now, and in the form of TV shows or episodes, 8-part series, or different longer forms of content that I think could turn into something. I haven't seen any apps recently. Maybe, hopefully soon. I don't know.
I know. I'm hoping for Vine too.
I know. Please.
Or sorry, V2. We're not supposed to call it Vine 2.
You're totally spot on though, because we've seen YouTube, and that's a business move they're making. So you obviously are an influencer.
Yeah.
Well, that's why Time
on the pulse.
Time Magazine said she wants influential people on the internet.
I know. That's insane.
I know, it's insane. And Forbes too.
I know.
What does that feel like?
On the internet.
The internet. It's pretty big. The internet's pretty big.
I know, it's huge. And it's the craziest thing ever. I feel so honored, and the people that I'm next to, I don't know, it just makes me feel happy, and I love it. And the fact that people like what I'm doing is great, and if I can make people happy, then great, and if I can be on the list, then awesome.
You are so sweet.
Thank you.
I'm just loving your energy.
Thank you so much.
What do we have to look forward to in the future with you?
Hopefully a book tour. I want to put out more music very soon. The movie's coming out. My movie Bixler High Paradise coming out next year. I don't know exactly when. Just hopefully just building and more videos, more content, and
Well, we can't wait. You have 4 new fans.
Thank you so much.
Ariel, thank you so much for joining us. You can pick up your very own copy of Dreaming Out Loud starting tomorrow wherever books are sold. That's all from us. We'll see you tomorrow, same time, same table.
Woo.